All right, if you're in computer science, you know the feeling, the dreaded group project. It's supposed to be this amazing exercise in collaboration, but let's be real, it often just feels like a mess. So today, we're going to break down how to handle the social side of coding so you can actually turn all that frustration into a real-deal career skill.
Sound familiar? Yeah, if you've ever been staring at a Git repo at 2 in the morning thinking this exact thought, trust me, you are so not alone. It's probably one of the most universal feelings for students, especially when you're just starting out in your CS journey.
So here's how we're going to tackle this. First, we'll get real about why these projects get so tangled up. Then, I'm going to show you a super simple fix you can use before a single line of code gets written. After that, we'll dive into the art of giving and receiving feedback without making it weird. And finally, we'll connect the dots to see how this all pays off big time in your future career.
Okay, first things first, let's just put it out there. Group projects in computing can feel messy, confusing, and honestly, just frustrating. If that's you, you're in exactly the right place.
A lot of anxieties start to pop up, right? You've got people working at totally different speeds, which creates all this tension. Then there's that social awkwardness. You don't want to hurt someone's feelings by criticizing their code, but you're also terrified of your code getting judged. It all just kind of spirals into this feeling of chaos. And I'm telling you, that is completely normal.
But here's the reality check. As much as we sometimes wish we could just code in our own little bubble, that is not how the world works. From your first internship to senior-level software teams, pretty much all computing involves other people looking at your code, commenting on it, or even changing it. Getting good at this whole collaboration thing now is going to save you so many headaches later on.
So how do we fix this? Well, the key is to realize that most group project problems don't start when you're coding. They start before anyone even opens a file. The solution is to get out ahead of it, right from the jump.
This is probably the single most important tip I can give you. A quick 5-minute check-in can literally prevent days of confusion. Before anyone types a thing, agree on who's doing what. Assign clear roles. Maybe Sarah is handling the main logic, Ben's focused on testing the edge cases, and you're responsible for code quality, making sure variable names are clear and the comments actually help. This one little step completely avoids that awful moment down the line when someone goes, "Wait, I thought you were doing that?"
Okay, so you've planned your attack. Awesome. But you're inevitably going to have to look at your teammates' code and give them some feedback. This can feel super awkward, I get it, but it is a skill you absolutely have to build.
Check this out. See how a small change in wording makes a massive difference? This is confusing. That doesn't really help anyone, does it? But I had to read this loop twice to understand it. Boom! That points to a specific problem area. Even when it's good, you can do better. Looks good is fine, but it kind of shuts down the conversation. This works, but hey, one thing to consider is that opens the door for a real discussion and improvement. The goal here is to be helpful, not just nice. And this all boils down to the golden rule. You critique the code, not the coder. It is never, ever personal. Saying this function repeats a lot of logic is objective. It's focused on the work itself. That feels completely different from you did this wrong, which just sounds like you're pointing a finger. Keep the conversation about the code, and you'll keep things from getting personal and stay productive. All right, now for the other side of the coin. And let's be honest, this part is often way harder. Receiving feedback. It's tough not to get defensive when someone comments on something you just spent hours debugging. The trick here is to have a little process in your head. When that feedback comes in, your first instinct might be to fire back. Don't. Just pause, take a breath, and listen. Remember, feedback isn't an attack, it's just information. Step 2, ask questions. Make sure you actually get what they're suggesting. And finally, step 3, make a plan. You don't have to agree with every single point, but you do have to decide what your next up is going to be. And here's a super powerful question you can pull out. Do you think this is a major issue, or is it more of a style suggestion? This one question is a game changer. It helps you prioritize everything right away. Is this a critical bug that's breaking the whole program, or is it a little style tweak you can get to later? Understanding the severity of the feedback is so key to managing your time and your stress.
And last but not least, always close the loop. Don't just silently make the changes and push them. A quick message, something simple like, "Hey, I renamed those variables. Let me know if this is clearer now." That shows your teammate you heard them and you took action. It's a small sign of respect that keeps the whole team in sync and the project moving forward.
So why does any of this matter beyond getting an A on this one project? Well, because these are the exact skills that are going to define the start of your career.
We all fall into bad habits.
Pushing all your code the night before it's due, leaving no time for anyone to review it. Taking a comment personally and letting it build resentment. Or maybe the worst one, just saying nothing, ignoring the feedback, and hoping it magically disappears. These things don't just hurt your grade. They start to build a professional reputation that can stick with you. Now this is probably the biggest takeaway of this whole thing. Being a great developer isn't about writing perfect, flawless code on the first try. That's a total myth. The best, most respected developers are the ones who can take feedback, ask smart questions about it, and communicate effectively. They see feedback as a tool for growth, not as some kind of judgment on their abilities. Look, learning how to handle these team dynamics now, in a pretty low-stakes classroom project, is a massive advantage. It's like a secret weapon. Because when you land your first internship, or join a research lab, or get hired for your first real job, you'll already have the soft skills that so many of your peers are scrambling to learn on the fly. So think about this. Your next group project kicks off tomorrow. What's your first move going to be? Are you going to dive straight into coding? Or are you going to take 5 minutes to just talk with your team? That one conversation could literally change the entire project.